What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Lakia Learns a Lesson. Well, this month, we're going to talk about a man's worth. This month, well, actually last month was men's health awareness and all that wonderful things. And I was late. I took a hiatus. It is what it is. But we're back now. So I have my lovely guy best friend with me today, who just so happens to be like a really, really great artist. Like he's really, really dope with it. And I wanted to talk about different levels, different aspects of men's health, being emotional, spiritual, mental, and physical. But I ain't want to come to y'all with that typical, black man stuff. We gonna come at it at an artistic point of view. And why not with a black man? Hi, Kortel.
Hello, hello, hello. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. So, one, thank you for joining me and helping me out.
It was my pleasure.
So today, this week, we talking about emotional health. Emotional health. I need to learn some things. I think I may have caused emotional damage to a couple of my exes. Not saying that they didn't. Okay, I'm not gonna say they deserved it. I'm not gonna come from that aspect, but I think there was a few things that I did that may have. Now that I'm thinking about, now that I've grown up, I might have scarred a couple people because I there was a time where I was like, and you can check that out. Y'all can check that out in my other videos when I talk about my 20 somethings. I was out here just, on to the next one. I didn't really care about how they felt because at that moment I was hurt. But hurt people hurt people. But I don't. I hate that I did that because I look back at some of them and some of them ain't. They still hurting. They still hurting. So I saw I was scrolling on the Instagrams, and I saw your page, Encore Studio. If y'all haven't, picked it up, you'll catch the deets at the end of the video. Now I was scrolling and I saw the picture with the man on the bed, and he was like facing the wall. And I feel like I left a lot of men like that, where they just don't want to talk. And I think a lot of us have done that. So I need to learn not to do that again. Even though I'm married, there's still a possibility I can do that to my husband, and I don't want to do that to him. So, Kortel, first off, can you describe that art piece for us?
So, with that particular art piece, it was me essentially trying something different. And that actually was an emotional piece of art. Um, the way that it kind of started out was that I did want a guy in the bed, just like, chilling, just vibing or whatever. But I didn't want him facing the audience. I wanted him facing away. Because when somebody's back is to you, you can't tell really what they're feeling. And so the way that it started out was that I wanted there to be message bubbles at the top, like on an iPhone or whatever, so that you can see that he's having a conversation. But I felt like if I put that up there, that boxes his emotions in a particular feeling versus the audience being able to interpret that however they wanted to. So I completely eliminated that. And we just went with the guy laying in the bed, face away from the audience and just looking at his phone. Now, for me, what that generally looks like is in the morning, I'm scrolling through my phone, I'm looking at YouTube, Instagram, just a variety of different things, all while I'm processing my emotions, whatever it is I'm feeling. Because sometimes we do go to bed with baggage, and we wake up and we still haven't processed it.
Ain't unpacked a thing.
Right, we still got everything packed up. So for me, sometimes the way that I try to unpack the things that I didn't unpack before I went to bed is I may get on YouTube or Instagram stories and look for something funny to kind of bring me out of whatever it is that I'm feeling. And so that's what that piece was. It's just this man faced away from the audience, and the audience can look at him and say that maybe he's just chilling, maybe he's sad, maybe he's just waking up and not really thinking about much of anything. So I just left that up to be interpreted however it is meant to be by the receiver. So if you feel like he's sad, then he's sad. If you feel like he's in a good mood, but he's just scrolling through his phone, then he's scrolling through his phone. But I just know for me, when I did it, it was meant to portray him as going through something.
See, that's good. That's good. Cause I know when we were talking, we were planning this out, and I told you why I even chose them. You was like, "Oh, that's what you got from that." Because I feel like, and it's probably not even just a gender thing. I think a lot of times we just find ourselves like we just want to face the wall, not be bothered, and then we also scrolling on our phones as a distraction to not deal with what we necessarily need to deal with, like heartbreak or some tragic thing that might have happened. Like it's a lot of things going on right now to where I just want to face the wall and just scroll in my. Actually, no, I don't even want to scroll in my phone. I don't even want to scroll no more. But it's a lot that's been going on. That's taking a toll on all of our emotions, and you know, yeah, we could do better. Um, were you in a particular state when you drew that? Like, where was your mind? How were you? Was that just one of those, this is how I'm feeling today, or where were you emotionally at that time?
Um, on that particular piece, I wasn't. I didn't start out in a bad headspace. Sometimes I will reach back into my thoughts and grab onto something because I want to create or convey a message. So I think in the moment when I drew that, I was actually content. I was at peace, but I was like, I don't want this piece to necessarily reflect what I'm feeling now. So I dug up some stuff that made me feel away. And the way that I operate in my own personal life, I am that guy who will, when I'm going through something, I check out. Like I distance myself. I'm that guy laying in the bed, scrolling on his phone, not saying much to anybody, not letting anybody know how I feel. It's just me trying to remedy myself. And so that's what I would do. But so I had to put myself into a mindset of hurt, of feeling abandoned, or just feeling some kind of way other than what I felt. Because if I just went off of what I felt, I would have used different colors in that picture. I would have used like brighter colors if I was operating on my jovial vibe. So I put myself in a dim place, and that's why when you look at that picture, you see that it's more of a darker tone. It's bright and it's dark at the same time, but it's more darkness in that particular piece. So yeah, I had to separate myself from what I was truly feeling in order to get the image that you saw.
So what does what does emotional health mean to you? Like, how important is that to you as a
Um,
man?
as a man, okay. Maybe as a woman, I don't know. But no, emotional health for me it's very important. And it's one of those things that I feel like as men we tend to starve our emotional health. We don't really acknowledge what we feel, or we don't share it with the world, because society has trained us to kind of harbor whatever it is that we're feeling, keep it to ourselves because if you convey emotion, then that kind of strips you from being a man. That takes away from your manhood. And so I feel like that's what society has done to us. But I like to go against the grain. I don't operate off of what society dictates a man should be or how he should behave. So if I feel whatever emotion I'm feeling, whether it's happy, angry, whatever it is, I'm going to not necessarily broadcast it, but I'm going to express that, hey, this is how I feel. And there's nothing wrong with a man sharing his feelings. And I feel like that's another thing. Men are we've been programmed to think that sharing your feelings is just wrong. Like that's not a trait of ours. But as far as emotional health, I feel like it's very it's a healing thing that I feel like a lot of men need. We take that away from ourselves, and that's something that we need to actually acknowledge. It's okay to feel. It's okay to have emotions and let the world know that you have them. It's not going to take away from who you are.
I think that you said something really good because I think as a culture, I think we've trained and raised our men to think that you show any kind of anything, any emotion outside of anger or like anything outside of being happy, like we made it to where y'all just you can't cry, you can't be sad, you can't be, it's just it y'all it made y'all to feel like that's a weak emotion.
Right. And when you make a man feel weak, he feels like he's emasculated. And that's something that no man wants to feel. I know, and for the men watching, I'm speaking from personal experience and speaking for myself. So nothing I'm saying is law, but if it applies to you, then it applies to you. I don't want to feel weak. I don't want to feel like someone is taking my power from me. So when I'm in front of my counterparts, I'm not going to show you that I'm weak. When I'm in front of my homeboys, I'm not going to show you that I'm actually wanting to cry because to you, that's going to convey weakness and that puts me at the bottom of that food chain. And I'm not trying to be at the bottom. So that's why we harbor everything that we feel. We internalize it all. Like half of the time, half of us we don't even talk to God about it. We just keep it, we process it, and it's just always there, just hanging on to us and weighing us down. If we don't even realize it, we'll go years with harboring emotions, never even realizing, never even understanding that everything we're keeping inside is actually shaping us to be something we don't even want to be.
I think I've heard so many times that men feel like it's so hard to understand us women. But I've gotten to a place where it's gotten hard to understand y'all. And it's simply because y'all just don't quite it's some of y'all don't know how to express your feelings. And then some of y'all just express them and they might not even be the right feeling. I because you don't know because I think now men are starting to learn more about letting their feelings out and being emotional and because they're just now allowing themselves to do it just they just pulling the emotions out and it ain't even this time for this emotion to show up.
Over here upset. Like, why you upset? I don't even know. Like, but you smiling. I don't know what to feel. I don't know what to feel. Just know I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. That's all. That's all you need to know. I'm feeling it.
Just, and
Just
we
be
just
calm.
have I'm just happy that y'all feeling it, that's all. We'll work on the rest.
No time to figure to put a name to it.
We'll work on the rest. So what suggestions do you have for those that haven't quite started that emotional health journey? What suggestions do you have for those men?
For those men who haven't started that journey, I'm assuming that they're in a place where they want to. They need to understand the man that they were from their past in order to understand the man that they're trying to be. And hopefully that makes sense. It's like you need to understand why you keep everything internalized. You need to understand why you're not expressive when it comes to your emotions. You need to understand why by the rules that society has placed on you, and abide by the definition that society says a man is. So once you have an understanding of why you keep all of this inside, why you operate the way that you operate, then you can find your proper outlet. And for me, my outlet is art. Like I express myself through my art. I sometimes would even do poetry. So I'm expressive through my art. Um, so once you identify what the issues are and why you're keeping all that inside, then you can take it day by day, step by step. It's never going to be an easy process, especially if you're coming from a place where you have never really expressed yourself. It can be scary because now you're tapping into a part of you that even you haven't seen before. So that's going to make you feel some kind of way. It's going to be scary. You're not going to want to do it, but you have to push past whatever that fear is because you are now on a higher quest to understand yourself, so that you can be better for you, for your friends, for your family, your loved ones. Just endure that journey because it will always, in the end, be worth it.
So I think today I've learned a lot. Um, to those few men that I didn't allow to express how you felt, I deeply apologize. But I've learned during this conversation with you, um, I've learned that it's important to allow a man to express himself however he feels in order for him to emotionally grow. Does that make sense? So that's what I learned today. Thank you so much, Cortel. This will not be the last time he's gonna be here. He's gonna be with me all month. Um, Cortel, can you please tell the people where they can see your wonderful art and find out more?
Absolutely. So if you want to see my work, and I am also open for commission, you can go to Encore Studio. That's on Instagram, and that's ENCOURE Studio. Hopefully you got to spell studio. I'm sure you got it smart. So Encore Studio, and there you can see my work, see the kind of things that I do, see the evolution of my art, and you can also make requests. You can book me. I like to say book is busy. Just
Well, they're
email
busy.
booked and busy. So email me on there or inbox me on there as well, and I will make sure I get back to you. We can work out all the details as far as what your vision is, and hopefully I can bring it to life for you.
Yeah, he was so mannerable this time. Cause sometimes it just
It might be great for the other
I might have spoke too I might have spoke too soon. But anywho, thank you guys for tuning in to another Lakia Learns a Lesson. Catch me next week where we come back and we're gonna talk about mental health. Hmm. All right. Leave a comment. Let me know. Men, talk to me. Feel free to share what you want to share. Share your story as I share mine, and we can walk this thing out together. All right. I'll see y'all.